Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Sagittarius August 24, 2022. It's a good cycle for family activities, home improvement, and attending to your safety, security, and comfort needs. The focus is on your closest ties, foundation, or home life. Fortunately, it comes naturally to anchor or nest on a psychological level. In the weeks ahead, you'll be pouring more heart and pride into your family and personal life. It's a good time to get grounded and centered, as well as to refuel and build up your confidence. Today, you can gain valuable insight into a project or person. It's a strong day for cooperation and support. When was the last time you mingled with new energies? Maybe it's a network of co-workers you work out with or a team of colleagues you meet with for happy hour once a week. For instance, the moon, celestial ruler of your health-conscious 6th house of daily rituals, will enter Cancer, and your 11th house of associations, community affairs, and individual freedom today, presenting you with the opportunity to add more excitement and spontaneity to your day. The sun, celestial ruler of your relationship sector, will also debut in Cancer and your intuitive 4th house of innermost feelings. Surround yourself with those who feel like home. Are you ready to enjoy a more relaxed work life? The sun is officially in Cancer, encouraging you to step into a different fixed sign season. Cancer energy is slow, steady, and reliable. Although it levels your desire to be a wild child, Cancer season can be the perfect time to enjoy an easygoing pace at work. You can utilize this energy to buckle down on a few imperative objectives. Instead of making a bold move or being risky, you can rely on the predictability that comes with the stability of Cancer season. Change, even when it is for the better, can still sometimes be hard. It seems to be taking you a while to adjust to your recent professional good fortune. Your new job means a lot of increased responsibility. As excited as you are about the challenge, and certainly the extra money will come in handy, you can't quite shake your worry that you won't succeed. Just chalk these feelings up to cold feet. You'll get over your jitters soon enough. To put it mildly, you are somewhat overwhelmed with what is expected of you. There are frequent misunderstandings, especially with relatives and friends. To avoid making the tense situation worse, refrain from acting in the heat of the moment. You need a great deal of time and patience for talking things over to clear matters up. You have one idea, you know who has another. Even though this isn't exactly a romance yet, you still might want to treat it as one. Every relationship requires some degree of compromise. You come under intense scrutiny and react badly to criticism you might receive from people you care about most. Emotional outbursts lead you to say things you later regret. It is probably best if you try and remove yourself from any tense situation to a quiet place where you're able to reflect on how you feel. A letter or phone call concerning potential positive changes in your financial situation might have your mind buzzing over possibilities for your future. You might be a bit worried over whether or not you'll be able to make the most of this break, but your innate practicality should enable you to face it in an objective, efficient way. So there's no need to worry. Give it some thought, and make your decision when it all comes through. You'll be more willing to break from routine on this day. And this can do you a world of good. This will be especially true if you are often required to work within a strict and structured format. If you don't get a chance to reach beyond this, your life can become terribly dull. This vibration can see you in a bolder and more daring frame of mind. Go on out and try something outside of the norm and enjoy yourself. It is a case of one in and one out on the home front today, and with it a change in approach. Mercury's departure from your home and family sector today leaves you with the means to remain mentally focused and keep the communication lines open, but the moon's return just hours later allows you to become more emotionally and intuitively engaged. This begins the lead up to an eclipsing new moon, and with it a chance to draw a new line in the sand. Just 3 days before Venus, the planet of love returns to your communications sector to begin a mission to give your heart and your relationships a voice the moon leaves. This leaves you better able to give your emotional responses a voice, just as Mercury, the planet of communication, returns to your romantic sector in order to give your heart a voice and to put heart and mind on the same page. Our eyes in the sky. The Cancer moon shares some frustrations in the sky while forming a square with Jupiter today. When it comes to matters of the heart, this energy could throw you for a serious loop. Try to maintain your patience, understanding, and diplomacy should any conflict arise in your love life. Emotions are likely to run high, and Cancer lunar energy is extremely emotional, so things could get ugly quickly. The energy here could amplify issues that might not ordinarily be such a big deal, so try to be mindful of that and keep things in perspective. Unfortunately, the atmosphere doesn't lighten up much as the evening progresses. The moon continues to encounter frustration as it forms a square to Chiron. With all of this going on in the cosmos, you'll want to be on the lookout for manipulative behavior. People might begin to obsess over the ways in which they feel they've been wronged, and you definitely don't want to be in the crossfire when they lash out. If the tension becomes too difficult to manage, you might want to postpone any personal interactions until things cool down. On the plus side, Chiron sends some helpful energy to the moon, so if you're able to keep calm and talk through your issues, you're likely to evolve and strengthen your relationships tonight. Don't let fear stand in the way of letting your sentiments be known. Understanding boundaries with friends is going to be super hard during this new moon, mostly because you're the one who's unable to adhere to the structure and limits in your relationships. The advice is to resist the urge to text too much. Be cognizant of the volume of communication you send over. While we can trust our head to steer us in the correct direction, we should aim to be heart-centered in our approach. The next 2 days are an excellent time for starting things, but not for seeing them through if they require extensive planning or patience. In the morning, the Cancer moon squares Jupiter in Aries, augmenting optimism. Emotional comfort may be sought through the discovery of new spiritual insights or education. Although we derive pleasure in the familiar, under this influence, we are curious about how different cultures live. However, this transit can also facilitate blind spots that leave us vulnerable to taking too much on faith. We can also find ourselves spiritually bypassing dilemmas that require a rational solution. Aim to stay high-minded without being avoidant of life's complex realities. Before noon, the Leo Sun and Vesta, the goddess asteroid of divine inspiration, oppose each other in the sky. We now find ourselves asking, is my passion somehow at odds with the image I'm presenting to the world? Vesta in Aquarius suggests that we be inclusive of the diverse needs of those within our communities. We may be wondering how we can define our personal identity through humanitarian or innovative group efforts. Even though these ideas seem opposed, they are not intrinsically at odds. We must know ourselves, and know ourselves well, before we can stand as an example of an idea for others. The point is not to claim leadership and authority by force, but to be a pillar that inspires those around us to act. This transit Sug celebrated rather than scrutinized, because they have made us the person we are today.